Well, we're super excited today to welcome Dr. Lynn Gray, who is the director of the California office of the Small Business Advocate, and also the folks that gave us our wonderful grant and our Accelerate California Inclusive Innovation Hub grant. So we're absolutely as proud as we could be to be Orange County's Accelerate California Hub. And I wanted to give a little bit of background maybe on Dr. Gray. It looked like from your educational background, you're a true Renaissance person, okay? So she started in electrical and electronics engineering and then shifted over to business administration, business management, and then got a master's in theology, which I love because my PhD is in political philosophy. And then she got her PhD in health and healthcare management. So I mean, like a true Renaissance person, to be sure. Then early in her career, she was IT director at Ross Dove Company Auctioneers, and then hops over to Lotus, which was actually one of my clients back in the 90s. So been to Cambridge and the Lotus office over there. And then she goes over to Senior Telecom Data Project Manager at Kaiser Foundation Health Plan. And then it looked like maybe you ran your own company at Yadari Enterprise.
2 decades.
Okay, we're going to talk about that entrepreneurship event, which is a contract IT services team. Then at that point, it looks like you kind of start flipping into public sector work with being the CEO of Fresno Metro Black Chamber of Commerce. And then in 2021, you go into full public sector, which is CalOSBA as we know it. So that's a lot and varied, and it's such an interesting background. I'm so happy to meet you and welcome you today.
Thank you, Dr. West. I was one of those children. I frustrated my parents, I think, because I wanted to investigate everything. I wanted to do everything. And they let me.
Yeah, curiosity is really wonderful way to learn in general.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think parents that encourage that are doing their kids a big favor, for sure.
Absolutely. So it was a varied path, circuitous route, I sometimes say, to my current role. But the one thing I think that has been a thread for me, as you just mentioned, curiosity, but also the time I spent with my grandmother as I was coming up. My parents were hardworking public servants themselves.
Oh, what did they do?
They were both in education, actually.
Interesting.
My mom was a Spanish and French teacher before she went back to law school, and got her Juris Doctorate. My dad retired as a high school principal. My mom did a lot in the district office. She was, director of employer relations. She retired as an assistant superintendent. So education really was their love, and they served the people in our communities and always offered to be a voice for the voiceless. And that's really the model of public service that I saw and learned. And so it just really kind of naturally became who I was. So I picked up my grandmother's entrepreneurship because my grandmother was a small business owner.
What was her business?
She ran a beauty shop.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, she ran a beauty shop. And so I just was fascinated by her give back to the community, the connector that she was. She was a lender.
Oh, wow.
She did so much, and she was so respected in the community, very much the same way both of my parents were in our community. But the deal making, the little book she had, that she kept her notes in, it just was so exciting to me. And I think I never let go of that. And that ultimately, I think, guided my pursuit of, my first business degree. But she was also a devout woman of faith, as my mother and my father are. And that faith really guided me. So the business degree was so that I could get a job somewhere.
Yeah, practical. The practical side.
That's right. The theology was so that I could understand people and institutions. And, the healthcare administration doctorate was really something. It's an organizational leadership degree, really. And I worked for Kaiser Foundation Health Plans. I understand what a big role healthcare plays in so many other areas of our life. And so the doctorate was really me satisfying curiosity, about that. So thank you. I kind of feel like it's a compliment to be called a Renaissance woman.
Yes, I think so. It definitely is. And I mean, just to return maybe for a moment to the religious or the spiritual, I noticed on I love the quote on your LinkedIn page. It says, "To whom much is given, much is required," and then Luke 12:48. And I thought, boy, that is a quote that we really need for this moment, isn't it? In
Yes.
our political scenarios right now, where a lot of people that have so much are not willing to give to others. And
Yes.
it's a very unique moment in our history. And I definitely think that we need more, maybe you can comment on that, like how can we return to that idea of a universal morality where if you do have enough, you are to start sharing with others.
Yes.
How can we return to that?
Yes, that's an excellent question, Dr. West, and something that I've really kind of been pondering. I think technology has been a great enabler, but I also think that it has created silos for us as individuals. And I think that the grace that so many of us learn to give to others, right? We've kind of fallen away from that. And we've moved to a period of time where we're about ourselves. We're about our agendas. We're about our personal gain. And you see it so many times, just as you characterize the moment that we're in. When our real power as humanity is when we are in service to something greater than ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that scripture drives me because I have been blessed in my life.
Right.
I was born to a beautiful, loving union of two people. I had loving grandparents. I had peace and love and prosperity in the household that I grew up in. I gave birth to two beautiful people that are incredible human beings in their own right. I have been blessed. I feel I have been given so much in my life. And my current job is a huge blessing. I work for one of the most incredible governors this state has ever known. Certainly one who is invested in small business. Yes. And the people who support the small business ecosystem in the state of California, he's invested more than any governor before him.
That's amazing. Yeah, I know. I was going to say from your LinkedIn profile, it says you've deployed $5.3 billion in small business grants across 14 different programs in 3 short years. You've grown the staff from 5 to 25. You've got established an entrepreneurship economic mobility task force to democratize access to capital, diversify the innovation economy, drive the economic mobility through entrepreneurship. Launched a new CalOSBA website. It's gorgeous, coming out. And you've got all these new programs. And I mean, you're really moving mountains, and with Governor Newsom and his funding, to be sure. And I would just say too, I had been a part of 4 tech startups, and I was at a point in my career where I was just really ready to do something different. Yes. I was like, I could do this again, but I kind of doing it in my sleep. And so a good friend of mine said, well, there's a new dean, and why don't you meet him and, just have a coffee, no big deal. And so we met, and we were supposed to have a 30-minute meeting. We had an hour and 15-minute meeting, and he said, "Oh, I have this entrepreneurship center that needs a new director. Would you be you've been in startups, would you be at all interested?" And I thought, oh my goodness, yes. My parents too were in education. My father ended his career at Cal State University system as vice chancellor. My mom was always in the public education system. So I got my PhD as a younger person, and I got pulled into the business world, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is so much more fun. It's not political. I can earn whatever I want as a salesperson. I loved it. But then I thought in the back of my mind, I better finish my dissertation because I may want to go back when I'm old. So Dr. Gray, I'm officially old now, according to my young self. But I took the role in June 2023, and then a neighbor of mine said, well, there's this wonderful opportunity with CalOSBA, and I said, really, what? Then they introduced me, and I was so thrilled to be able to use my sales skills and position our center as a place that could be to help underserved entrepreneurs to empower themselves. And tonight is a special night. Because we are graduating our asociación, I always get tripped up by those too many S's in there, the Emprendedores program run by Monica Robles, which is an 8-week program that we've been running every summer. And she instructs Latinx founders on the basic principles of entrepreneurship. And it's just going to be an incredible evening tonight, I think, with Mayor Slater's coming and with Dr. Gray's presence here. And I cannot tell you how much it means to them to have people in your position of power to come and support them. I mean, last year we had people in tears and so forth, just how they've moved from day one to this graduation is incredible. So I just want to thank you for being here for our local Latinx founders, and I'm just thrilled that we could have you here. But tell us more about what's going on at CalOSBA. Just
I would, if I may, Dr. West, I just really want to follow on in that sentiment. I don't want to leave those beautiful words that you just said, because to me, what you just described and the emotion that I felt and the pride in speaking about the program, I think that is what is so powerful about what we do. Right. This is what is so powerful about the partnership and the programming that this administration has supported. Asociación de Emprendedoras, an incredible program. Yes. And I remember their first application to our network. And I remember thinking to myself, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I had no idea where we would be a few years later, but the pride, the inclusivity, the empowerment, the personal leadership lessons, those are something that our entrepreneurs get that are valuable, that they take away from the program, but they forever impact their lives. Yes. These are people who are putting everything on the line every single day in pursuit of their California dream, yes, to impact their families, to send their kids to college, to buy a home. I mean, whatever it is that their dream represents, that's what we are stewards of.
Yes.
Right? That's a big deal.
It is.
It's a really big deal. So as you were talking about your path, I was thinking, well, to whom much is given, much is required for you. Yes. And your steps, frankly, were ordered right here to this place.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Well, when I took the job and I called my parents and I said, it's return to the original dream, this is really what I was supposed to be doing. I just didn't do it right away. And then the blessing of earning or winning the grant too. And I said, okay, now we can really impact the community. And I feel like, Chapman is in the middle of Orange. We're in the middle of Santa Ana and Anaheim and all of these communities with, we have Latinx communities, we have Asian Americans, we have, any number of immigrants. And turns out first generation immigrants are like 27 times more likely to be entrepreneurs. So not only do we have this program, but we also invite them to come to our startup incubator. And this is a service that Chapman can give back to the community too.
Yes.
So, and just the way of offering the building, the maintenance, and all of those things to the community members, opening our doors to community members, really for the first time in years and years, which is great. It's great publicity for them too.
Yes.
So it's a win-win-win all the way around.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Well, we're proud of this partnership for Accelerate California Inclusive Innovation Hubs. And I have to say, I thought of, California has 1.5 million women business owners, right?
Yeah.
Small business is a big deal in the state of California.
Yes.
And the entrepreneurial spirit is something that I think flows through our water here. We do it. We have more IPOs, more patents. You name it. We get more VC capital. You name it. We've got all of these ingredients that say, we are leading in this space. But we don't necessarily see equity throughout that. Women business owners don't access capital quite the same way that their male counterparts do. Founders of color in tech spaces don't access VC capital and angel capital at the same rate.
Right.
So these are some of the gaps that we really were looking to fill with the Inclusive Innovation Hubs. And so happy to have one down here. So happy to have all of these founders of color here graduating tonight from this cohort. Glad that you and your organization get it. Our diversity is our strength. The comment you just made about immigrant entrepreneurs is right on. Diverse businesses contribute $198.1 billion to the state's economy. It's not an accident that we are the fourth largest economy in the world.
Right.
It's not an accident. We lead. We lead in every metric. Our businesses survive longer. Our failure rate is lower. There are just so many areas in which California leads, and we lead in this type of program, right? We lead in the number of jobs created by small businesses, more than 7 million of them. And the mission that we've really been on in my office, and the reason why we changed the name of the Technical Assistance Network to Scale, Success, Capital Access, and Leadership for Entrepreneurs, is because we felt that one word really represented the outsized opportunity that we have in the state. If we could get just 25% of the now 4.3 million small businesses in the state, if we could get 1/4 of them just to add 3 jobs, just 3, not 10, 15, 20, but 3 jobs, we could take that 7 million jobs generated by small businesses to 10 million. What an impact to the state's economy that would be. We already have 43% of our small businesses exporting, right? 43% of the exports of the state of California come from small businesses. I said that wrong the first time.
Oh, okay.
But yes, 43% of the state's exports. So I go back to what I said at the outset. Small business is big business for the state of California. And when we support small businesses, we strengthen everyone in the economy. So
Yes.
this is what, frankly, we are supposed to be doing.
Absolutely. And I'm just so proud that the state has not backed down in the face of the antagonism of our national leadership. And I'm so proud that Governor Newsom has stood up and fought back in support of our immigrant laborers and just frankly our neighbors. So very important state to be taking a stand, I feel.
Yes.
And he did say too that 98.7% of our businesses are under 500 employees in California. So
Actually,
really,
the number's smaller than that.
I mean, I when I sit down with people and
larger than that. Did I say
donors,
smaller?
well, the percentage is 98.7 or
Yes.
more than that.
Yeah, no, it's 98. You're right with the percentage, but what I meant, the employee count is less than that.
Okay, yes, I believe.
So the feds define a small business as less than 500 employees in the state. It's 150.
Oh, I didn't know
right,
that.
depending upon your SIC code.
Okay.
And when we really look, 98% of our small businesses have less than 20 employees.
Yeah.
So the delta between 20 and 500 is significant.
Yeah.
Right? That it's a completely different picture
Right.
of what a small business is. That we have to hold on to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because that means our small businesses are literally carrying this economy on their back.
Yes, for sure. And I know many who are, our neighbors they're running a restaurant and supporting 3 generations through one, restaurant. And that's something like maybe a venture capitalist would poo-poo, but if they're making $6 million in revenue a year and able to support 3 generations, I mean, who's going to argue with that?
That's right.
Honestly, come on.
That's right. That's right. I always say that our small businesses are community institutions, and I say that for exactly the example you just gave. They are woven into our communities. Life's celebrations happen at the very restaurants that you're talking about, whether it's an anniversary, a graduation, a wedding, engagement celebration, graduation from kindergarten. I mean, you name it.
True.
Life's moments happen in our neighborhood small businesses. You got connected to this opportunity through coffee at your neighborhood coffee shop, right? I mean,
There you go.
that's where life happens. So these literally are community institutions. And we saw during COVID, we saw the impact to our communities. And that is the reason why I just applaud Governor Newsom's investment and understanding that our communities needed that uplift, our small businesses needed that uplift. I mean, what an investment. We're the better for it.
Entrepreneurship. Who can argue with being able to empower yourself, support your family and multiple generations, offer a service that is much wanted in the community, as you point out, and pay for yourself and pay your own way? Who's going to argue with that? Honestly, entrepreneurship is the future.
It is.
Don't you think?
It is. It is. And I think the younger we teach entrepreneurship, the better off we are.
Yes, absolutely. Well, do you want to have any parting words? Everything has been wisdom, so I won't say parting words of wisdom because, it's been a great conversation, but anything you want to leave our audience with?
I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for your enthusiasm about, this program. Thank you for being dedicated to doing it in a big way. Thank you for not being afraid to underscore diversity and to keep the Asociación de Emprendedoras partnership front and center. We have a lot of California values that are worth fighting for. This is not the time to shrink back. So thank you for standing with our governor, standing with the administration, and proudly participating in our programs.
It's my pleasure, and it's my turn to give back, and so it's been great so far. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.